All right. Uh-oh, I lost you. Am I sharing the screen? No.
Yeah, that's right.
No, okay. So now I'm sharing the screen, yes. There we go.
Can you
see? Yes. No. Okay, great. Thank you.
All right. So today we are going to be talking about Atavisi Buddha Puja homage to the 28 Buddhas. And then, since this is a new year, we are going to be talking about new year goals, aspirations, and intentions. We are not going to call them a resolution this year because the resolutions are more like promises and you're probably going to break it. So let's just think about goals, aspirations, and intentions. So this is a screen capture of Atavisi Puja of last year in our temple. This was done inside. Right. So every year, Dharma Vijaya Buddhist Vihara and many other temples conduct Atavisi Buddha Puja on night of January 1st. So this year also, our temple did on the night of January 21st, and that is to invoke New Year blessings on the community. As I said, Atavisi Buddha Puja involves paying respect to the 28 Buddhas who have existed in the past. So Atta in Sinhala means 8, Visi means 20. So Atavisi means 28. So today we are going to be talking about generally about Atavisi Buddha Puja and why is this important? What are the names of the 28 Buddhas and what do the monks do during the ceremony, the rituals during the ceremony? And then what are the verses of that we chant during Atavisi Buddha Vandana, and what do monks chant during Atavisi Kirita? And then we sent you these Pali and English translations. Then daily Buddha Vandana, we do Vandana Gata in Pali and we sent that in English translations too. That is the offer when we offer things like flowers, incense and water and things like that. So we will discuss about that as well. Then we will talk about this year's Atavisi Buddha Puja. Because of the pandemic, it was done without devotees, but it was live streamed via Zoom and YouTube. And I sent the link, and I hope that you had time to watch it. So as usual, we have reading comprehension questions and discussion topics. And I saw most of you have signed up. And we will talk about those, and you can share your thoughts with us and the rest of the class. So in Theravada Buddhism, as you know, Buddha refers to as the one who has become enlightened, and Buddha did through his own efforts and insight. And because you have studied life of Buddha Charita, how he has done his effort. And Buddha is someone who realized enlightenment that ends the cycle of birth and death and which brings liberation from suffering. So in Buddhist literature, in suttas and other literature, it says 28 Buddhas and were enlightened at different times. We are going to be talking about that. Mihir is going to be talking about that. So not only Buddhas have appeared in the past, but will also appear in the future. So according to the South Asian tradition, there is a series of Buddha. So as you know, the last Buddha to appear is Gautama Buddha about 2,600 years ago. And that's the teaching which we follow today. And immediately before Gautama Buddha was Kashyapa Buddha, and the next Buddha is Maitreya Buddha. Now he lives as a bodhisattva in Tusita, heavenly world. And why do we pay homage to the Buddhas? These, we know the Buddhas have infinite virtues, and by doing these devotional practices, it increases our shraddha, or the confidence in the Buddhas, Buddha Dharma, and deepens our commitment to live by the teaching of the Buddhas. So, if you see a lot of different Buddha statues, you see in, while they are different in 28 Buddha pujas, all 28 Buddhas look the same in each of the ceremonies. Because, pretty much all the Buddhas have same qualities, and they all realize and preach the same universal truth, the Dhamma. That is how you deliverance from, ending suffering and death. The Buddhist literature talks about details about the 28 Buddhas as, their age and what trees that they obtain enlightenment. We know our Buddha obtained enlightenment under the Bodhi tree, but then some Buddhas did under Rukatana tree, like Pipali tree, like some type of pepper trees. So all these information is in the literature. And what are their names and father? They all come from similar background, and their countries, and all of them had two chief disciples, like Sariputta and Moggallana, Gautama Buddha, and then another description about when they appeared, what a kind of time, what type of world cycle that they appeared. All these things are in Buddhist literature.
So for those of you who have attended the Attavisi Buddha Puja, some of these pictures might look familiar, and the video might look familiar. So every year, the Attavisi Buddha Puja is held to invoke blessings on the community. And usually devotees offer 28 puja trays that are specially prepared, which you can see on the right here. They contain chatumadura, which is the 4 delicacies made out of ghee, which is clarified butter, jaggery, which is the hakuru, or the sugar that is distilled from the sap of the palm tree, honey and butter, juice, and medicines, or gilan pasan. So you can see on the trays that they have all of those things. In addition to these trays, flowers are also offered. You can see the vases with the flowers. Incense and candles are also offered to the individual Buddhas as well. So each of these trays are placed in front of each of the Buddha statues, which represent the 28 Buddhas. And lay people can offer donations by sponsoring a puja, and the temple arranges the puja trays on behalf of the devotees and the sponsors.
Yeah, Mihiri, you always sponsor one and separate from Uncle and me. So
yes,
that was one of your New Year traditions.
Yes, because I am an adult, so I offer things separately. So then there's a separate tray placed in front of a different Buddha statue than my parents' Buddha statue. All right. And this year, because of course, health guidelines due to COVID-19, the Attavisi Buddha Puja was conducted without any devotees, and instead the event was live streamed via Zoom and YouTube. So in the video that we had you watched, there were different parts to the ceremony. And the main part is to recite the Attavisi Buddha Vandana in Pali or Sinhala.
And I think, so Mr. Hamadru did in Sinhala language. she really chanted the Sinhala verses very beautifully.
And basically you pay respect to the 28 Buddhas individually. And in the chanting, it explains how the Buddhas have many great qualities. And in the video, Bhante Pinanda talks about the importance of the Ageles Buddha Puja and then talks about one quality of each Buddha as described in the Pirit,
which we will have a slide of later in the talk.
So later on, usually in the Ageles Buddha Puja, when there are many people around and there's not COVID, devotees will repeat Pali Sansas to offer various items. And the Ageles Vandana Gatha is chanted by the monks. So the devotees or the laity repeat gathas to take refuge in the Buddha Dhamma Sangha, which you're all familiar with, to observe the 5 precepts that you're probably familiar with, to pay respect to the Bodhi tree and the stupa or chaitya, and to offer flowers, incense, gilan pasa, juice, and water. And then in the video, you can see that Bhante Somisara chants the Ageles Buddha Vandana in Sinhala. And then devotees then recite the Gatha asking for forgiveness of shortcomings.
Such as shortcomings of physical, with word or mental shortcomings that we might have committed.
And then after that, the monks chant the Karanya Metta Sutra or the Loving Kindness Sutra. And then we share merits with superior beings and with departed relatives.
At the end of the Ageles Puja, monks bless the devotees. We recited with after the monks, Imina Punya Kammena. Again, we talked about in our chanting of Pirit about the affirmation. So here again, we make an affirmation for all beings to be well and happy with the virtue of our wholesome acts, which we have done already at the puja. So monks bless the devotees at the end of the puja by certain gathas, stanzas. May the triple gem bless you and may all deities protect you. By the gracious power of all Buddhas, may you and your family ever be well and happy. May you celebrate the gifts of good health, wealth, safety, happiness, strength, long life, and well-being in the new year and beyond. So this year, the monks in our temple who conducted the Ageles Buddha Puja, Venerable Walpola Piyananda, Venerable Bambaravane Kalyana Vansa, Venerable Kalbululande Dhammajoti, Venerable Professor Gonadeni Panya Ratana, Venerable Madhura Deni Somisara, and Venerable Higoda Sumangala. The reason I have the monk's name, I know you know the monks, but it is good that you remember the monk's name. So make sure that you you know the names of the monks in our temple.
And so here you see, these are some screen captures from this year's January 1st, 2021's Ageles Buddha Puja, and you see the statues or the pratima around the Bodhi tree and the stupa.
So this is different from the other times because, as you remember, all these Buddha statues are inside the Buddha shrine, but this time was as I remember, the first time it was done outside.
So you can see, I'm going to just get my mouse. You can see here are the Buddha statues around the Bodhi tree and then around the Chaitya. All right. And then here you have the monks offering the Gilan Pasa flowers and candles. And again, usually if we were not in COVID times, it would be the laity, the devotees. So usually what happens is the sponsors, there are 28 sponsors, each one per tray, one per Buddha. and they're called to take one of these trays and offer it to one of the Buddha statues. And so usually you have the 28 sponsors who are the ones who are placing the puja trays and the flowers in front of each Buddha statue. But this year, again, due to necessity, it was the monks themselves who offered the Gilan Pesa, the flowers and the candles. And then here we have, while the statues and the offerings were outside, back in the shrine room, you see that the monks were chanting the Buddha Vandanagata and the Atavisi Buddha Vandanagata.
So Piyananda Hamaduro talks about qualities of 28 Buddhas in Atavisi Pirita. I sent you these as reading materials, but as you see, all the individual Buddhas are described in Atavisi Pirita having certain qualities. For example, you can see up front, Tanhankara, the great hero, Medankara with the great honor. So all the Buddhas have these great qualities. So I just wanted to tell you this, because when you hear Atavisa Pirita chanted by monks, you will hear these names: Tanhankara, Medankara, Saranankara, Deepankara, Kondanja, and so on. And with that, the Pirita talks about qualities of the individual Buddha. So next time when you hear these names, you are listening to the names of the past Buddhas and their qualities. Again, as I keep telling you about the assertions, monks assert on the qualities of the 28 Buddhas and then invoke blessings. As you see, each Buddha has, just one Buddha has so many qualities. Imagine how much the qualities of 28 Buddhas. So monks assert on all these qualities of all these Buddhas, and then say, by the power of their truthfulness and virtue, patience and loving kindness, may it be a shield around me and you. May health and happiness be mine and yours. These 28 Buddhas, having fulfilled the 10 perfections, defeated the host of evil one and attained enlightenment. By the power of this truth, may joyous victory be mine and yours. We will talk about some of these 10 perfections briefly later. So with this ceremony, Vijaya Vihara and its monks wished you Happy New Year, or the devotees, Happy New Year, and to have 2021 bring joy and happiness to everyone. So Buddhist literature describes the history of 28 Buddhas. So you might wonder, we only usually hear about the Gautama Buddha and then about the life of Gautama Buddha. We usually don't hear about the history of the other Buddhas. But there's suttas and also a specific chronicle, which is Buddha Vansa. It's a chronicle of Buddhas. It describes a historical account of life of Buddha and or the Buddhas before them. So how the Buddha Vansa, the chronicle of Buddha, starts is Venerable Sariputta asked the Buddha, when did you first thought of to become a Buddhahood? And what did you have to do? What type of virtues did you have to do towards perfection? So, ask as a Bodhisattva. Bodhisattva is an individual who aspires to become Buddha. So he was asking, as a Bodhisattva, what do you have to fulfill to achieve this goal of perfect enlightenment. So to that questions from Sariputta Thera, Gautama Buddha tells the story, and that is Buddha Vansa. It's a historical account of the chronology and the description of the Buddhas. So Buddha tells first, how he first aspired to become Buddha. So in a distant past life, at the Dipankara Buddha's time, he took a vow to become Buddha. And then to become a Buddha, you need to have a prediction or vivarana from a living Buddha. And at that time, Sumedha, or the Bodhisattva Sumedha, who became Gautama Buddha, received the prediction from the Dipankara Buddha, and then to attain that, he had to carry out 10 paramis, or virtues toward perfections, and he carried this out not only during the first time, but during all the other Buddha's time too. So what are these perfections? Let's talk about this briefly. So every Bodhisattva has to practice 10 paramis. So Bodhisattva Sumedha, who became Gautama Buddha, had to practice almsgiving, morality, renunciation, wisdom, perseverance, tolerance, truthfulness, determination, loving kindness, and equanimity. So this is, I'm going to just talk a little bit about how Gautama Buddha, as how he got, he had to get a Niyata Vivarana, or prediction of future Buddhahood, from a Buddha, and that was Dipankara Buddha. So at the time, he was born to a rich Brahmin family named Sumedha, and after his parents died, he gave away all his wealth and went to the forest to become an ascetic. And he did meditation and other things to advance his mind, purify his mind. And at the time, Dipankara Buddha came to the town. He was in the forest, and Sumedha already had a pretty advanced mind. And people were preparing the road where Dipankara Buddha and his disciples were coming on. And Sumedha was given part of the road to, because it was muddy, he was given a road to work on. But what happened was Sumedha could not finish that work. So when Dipankara Buddha came, he instead laid across the muddy ground and asked him to walk on top of him without soiling his feet. So at the time, Sumedha, in presence of Dipankara Buddha, he aspired to become in the future. So Dipankara Buddha then told Sumedha, in the age of the future, you will become a Buddha called Gautama. So after that, all of the 24 Buddhas who appeared after Dipankara Buddha, and they appeared at different world cycles, which Mihir is going to talk about, and they renewed the prophecy that he would become a Buddha by the name of Gautama. And these are in Buddha Vansa and Charya Pitaka. These are in the Buddhist literature.
So if you are confused about different Buddhas in different world cycles, now I'm going to explain a little bit about what that means. So Buddhist cosmology is different from, let's say, Western cosmology. And what I mean by cosmology is the idea of how the universe was created, how it works, and how it ends. So it's basically like how the universe works. That's what cosmology means. That's just a fancy word for, thinking about the universe, its origins. So Buddhist, Hindu cosmology is very cyclical, as opposed to, let's say, Western, so let's say Christian cosmology. It's very linear, meaning that you will probably very familiar with the idea that in the Bible, God created the earth in 6 days and rested on the seventh. That's why we have Sunday, which is the holy day. So basically there was nothing. The universe was created by God, and then that's it. You are born, you live, and then when you die, you either go to heaven, hell, or purgatory, right? It's very linear, right? Boom, there's a beginning, there's a middle, there's an end, right? However, in our culture, in Buddhist cosmology, the world, the universe is very cyclical, right? So obviously you have the idea of reincarnation. You're born, you live your life, and then you die, then you're born, you live your life, then you die. And then we have Nibbana, or the cessation of existence, will end that cycle. So this kind of cyclical, circular way of thinking about time. So not only is life itself moving in a cycle, so does the universe. The universe is created. It expands. And then it no longer exists, and a new universe is created, expands, and this has happened in Buddhist cosmology. This has happened multiple times. So the universe has appeared, expanded, and disintegrated countless times. And the Buddha visualized innumerable periods of earlier Buddhas. So of the known 28 Buddhas, the ones that we've been talking about for today, only 4 of these Buddhas belong to the present world cycles, the present creation expansion of this universe. And the 4th is our current Buddha, Gautama Buddha, whose teachings that we follow. In a future time, in this present world cycle, it's said that one more Buddha will appear. And you might have heard Maitreya Buddha, right? So he is the Buddha to be, the future Buddha. So that way the present world system will have a total of 5 Buddhas. So you might ask yourself, why so many Buddhas? Why are there so many Buddhas? Not just because of, the world cycle expanding. There's different Buddhas in different world cycles, different iterations of the universe, but also because of time. According to kind of South Asian tradition, the Buddhist community carries on for a long time. So the teachings of the Gautama Buddha will carry on for a long time, but eventually, like all things, it will die out, right? And the teaching will not be known in the world anymore. And at that point, when the teaching is no longer known in the world, another Buddha will arise. Another Buddha will become enlightened and will teach the Dharma again and establish a new Buddhist community.
And in the life of Siddhartha, you probably remember that there was a time that he had to decide to be born into this world, because at that time there was no longer, the Buddhism wasn't existing. So at that time he decided to come and become the Gautama Buddha. So like that, the Maitreya Buddha, it'll happen when the teaching dies out. Sorry. I also wanted to say a little bit about another sutra. It's called Aganya Sutra, right? And in there, Buddha talks a lot about this kind of, not just only the world cycles, about how the living beings in earth were born, and they are very much in line with the scientific, findings or scientific theories. Buddha talks about there was like this milky sort of like a substance which was there at first, and there were the early living beings, very basic living beings were formed, and then from there the plants and other living beings were born, and it was talking about the humans born much later at the end, and even go further about how humans developed to be with more like civilizations, sort of. So with this kind of cosmology and the evolution, Buddha has what Buddha has said aligns with the scientific theories and reasonings. And only like less than 500 years ago, Galileo, right, and Copernicus, they only found that Earth revolves around the sun. Before, people thought even sun revolves around the earth, and that was just 500 years ago. So again, in our Buddhist and Indian cosmologies and Buddhist sutras, even 2,600 years ago, Buddha's teachings are very advanced. Not just about the cosmology, even about the neuroscience, about how the brain works and everything. Yeah.
All right. So now we have some questions. So about the Atavisi Buddha Vandana and the stanzas of the Atavisi Buddha Vandana. So our first question is, in the Atavisi Buddha Vandana, what are the names of the Buddhas mentioned in the first verse? And to read the verse in English. I believe Sanadi will be answering this question.
Vande Tanhankaram Buddham, Vande Medhamkaram Munim, Saranam Karam Munim Vande, Deepakaram Jinam Name. I respect Tanhankaram the wise. I respect Medhamkaram the sage. Saranamkaram the sage I respect. Deepakaram the conqueror I respect.
All right, thank you very much, Sanadi. Yes.
So they were the Taranhankara Buddha. Sanadi talked about Medankara, Saranankara, and Deepankara Buddhas.
Great. Thank you, Sanadi. All right. So what are the names of the Buddhas mentioned in the second verse, and read that verse in English? And I believe Senube is going to be providing us with that answer.
Hi, my name is Sinuda. In the Atavasi Buddha Vandana, the names of the Buddhas mentioned in the second verse are Kondana Buddha, Mangala Buddha, Sumana Buddha, and Rivata Buddha. The English translation is, I respect Kondana, the teacher. I respect Mangala, the leader. I respect Sumana, the fully enlightened. And I respect Rivata, the leader. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Yeah.
So as Senuda said, it's a Kondanya Buddha, Mangala Buddha, Sumana Buddha, and Revata Buddha.
All right. So what are the names of the Buddhas mentioned in the third verse? And read the verse in English. And I believe Binada will be answering that.
Hi, my name is Vinada Miluj, and today I will be reading the third verse of Atavisa Buddha Vandana and naming the Buddhas mentioned in it. I respect Sabita, the fully enlightened. Anamadasi, the sage, I respect. I respect Paduma, the fully enlightened. I respect Narada, the leader. There are four Buddhas mentioned in verse 3, Sabita, Padma, Narada, and Anamadasi.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Binada. As he mentioned, Sobita Buddha, Anomadasi Buddha, Paduma Buddha, Narada Buddha.
All right. And so what are the names of the Buddhas mentioned in the fourth verse? And read that verse in English. And I believe Sasada will be providing that.
The four Buddhas that are in the fourth verse are Padumataran Buddha, Sumedaha Buddha, Sudatta Buddha, and Piyadasi Buddha. Padum Buddha, the sage I respect. The sage I respect Samehara, the leader. I respect Sujatta, the filial land. Padasa, the sage I respect.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sasada. So the Padumuttara Buddha, Sumeda Buddha, Sujata Buddha, and Piyadasi Buddha.
All right. So what are the names of the Buddhas mentioned in the fifth verse? And read the verse in English. And I believe Ramithu will be answering this. Is Ramithu here? Ramithu De Silva, are you here? I believe Ramithu De Silva is not here. I don't see. All right, so I guess
You can say, yeah.
So Attadasi, the sage, I respect. Dhammadasi, the conqueror, I respect. I respect Siddhartha, the teacher. I respect Tissa, the great sage.
Attadasi Buddha, Dhammadasi Buddha, Siddhartha Buddha, and Tissa Buddha.
All right. So what are the names of the Buddhas mentioned in the sixth verse? And read that verse in English. And Yenuli will be doing that for us.
The names mentioned in the sixth verse is Pussa Budunwanse, Vipasi Budunwanse, Sikhi Budunwanse, Vesabu Budunwanse. And the verse in English is, I respect Pussa, the great hero. I respect Vipasi, the leader. I respect Sikhi, the great sage. I respect Vesabu, the leader.
All right.
Thank you, Yenuli.
Thank you, Yenuli.
As he said, Pussa Buddha, Vipassi Buddha, Sikhi Buddha, Vesabu Buddha.
All right. So what are the names of the Buddhas mentioned in the seventh verse? And read that verse in English. And I believe Jay will be doing that for us.
The four Buddhas mentioned are Kakusanda Buddha, Konagama Buddha, Kasapa Buddha, and Gautama Buddha. And in English, the seventh verse is Kakusanda, the sage I respect. I respect Konagama, the leader. Kasapa, the welcome one, I respect. I respect Gautama, the leader.
All right. Thank you, Jay.
And as Jay said, the Kakusanda Buddha, Konagama Buddha, Kassapa Buddha, and Gautama Buddha.
All right. So I believe Kai will be reading the eighth verse in English of the Ageles Buddha Vandana.
The eighth verse is, these 28 Buddhas, the givers of deathless Nibbana, I salute with my head, may they ever protect me.
All right. And there it is in Pali.
Attavisi me Buddha, Nibbana Matta Dayaka, Namami Sirasa Nityam, Temang Rakhantu Sabbada. Thank you, Kai.
All right. So now we talk about the Vandanagata and making offerings to the Buddha.
And you might wonder, why do we make these offerings to the Buddha? The Buddha is a statue, and, we are offering, food, water, flowers, and incense, and all of these. Why is that? So, when we go to the temple, we offer and we chant Gata, Pali Gata. It's called Vandana Gata in Buddha statues. And we make these offerings not because Buddha need them, or when we make offerings, we are not asking for a Buddha's favor. We do this out of respect. We know Buddha developed universal loving kindness and compassion, and he attained Nibbana, and he showed us the way to enlightenment. We talked about gratitude almost every talk during our all talks, and we pay respect and show our gratitude to the Buddha for showing us the way to Nibbana. And also, by doing these offerings, we develop good qualities such as with a respect attitude and gratitude, and create positive energy.
All right. So back to the questions about the offerings. So first we have the offering of light, or the Padipa Puja. So I believe Stephanie will be reciting the Padipa Puja in Pali and explaining what it means in English.
Hello, my name is Stephanie Vida, and today my topic is recite the Padipa Puja, offering of light in Pali, and explain what it means in English. Ganasarapaditena deepen tamadansina tilokadipam sambutam pujam tamnidam. In English, this means, with brightly shining light, gloom is abolished. I pay homage to the awakened one, light of the three worlds, who dispels darkness. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. And there is the verse in Pali and in English. This is
Ganasarapaditena deepena tamadansina tiloka deepan sambuddham pujayami tamonudam.
Great. All right, so now we have the offering of incense, or Sugandha Puja, and I believe Skylar will be reciting the offering of Sugandha Puja in Pali and explaining what it means in English.
Hi, I'm Skylar Vida, and today I will be reciting the Sugandha Puja in Pali and explaining what it means in English. So we recite the Sugandha Puja when we are offering incense to the Buddha. Gandha sambara yuttena dupena ham sugandhina pujaye pujaniyam tam puja bhajana muttama. In English, this means, with this sweetly scented incense, carefully blended from fine woods, I reverently come to the exalted one, the great one worthy of homage. Thank you.
Great.
Thank you, Skylar.
And there it is in Pali and in English. So hopefully these things you recognize as things that we say every single time that we chant. Oops, the wrong direction. And this is my personal favorite, but the offering of flowers, the puja in Pali, and explain what it means in English. And Kitsura is going to be
So we actually switched it, me and my brother, so he's going to say the one that I said.
Okay. So then Gayana is going to be doing the offering of flowers. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Gana Kolagoda, and today I'll be telling you guys about the offering of flowers, Gata, and the meaning of it. Vannagandha gunopedam etam kusuma santasing. Pujayami munindasa siripada sarorve. Pujayami buddham kusumena nena punyena metena nachahotu mokkam. Puppam milayati atai dhamme kayo tatayati vinasabhava. This bouquet of flowers, colorful, fragrant, and fine, I offer at the sacred lotus-like feet of the noble sage. May the virtue of offering these flowers help lead to my emancipation, even as these flowers fade. So must my body undergo decay. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Gayana.
So here it is in Sinhala and in English. It's my favorite because I like the
Sinhala, Pali.
Sorry, in Pali. I like the Puppamilayati Yatai Dhamme Kayo Tatayati Vinasabhavan. So even as these flowers fade, or just as these flowers fade, my body too must undergo decay. I like that. It's a good way of remembering that there is a purpose to each of these things that we offer. We're not offering the flowers to the Buddha for him to enjoy because they are pretty. We're offering the flowers to remind ourselves about the impermanence of our own bodies and our own lives. All right, so I believe Aisha will be reciting the Paniya Puja in Pali and explaining what it means in English.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ayesha Pereira, and today I'll
Oh,
be.
wait, no. Sorry. Kitsura will be offering the Panya Puja. That's my bad.
Hi, my name is Kitsara, and I will be reciting the Panya Puja, which means like water, offering water. And yeah, Adeva se tuno bante paniyam parikapitam anukampang upadaya patenganha tumuttama. In English, this means, O Venerable, kindly accept this water, especially dedicated. Please take it, Great One, with your great compassion. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you, Kitsura. All right. And now Ayesha is going to be offering the offering of juice in Pali and explaining what it means in English.
Hi, everyone. My name is Ayesha Pereira, and today I'll be talking to you all about the Gilana Pachya Puja. The Gatha is Adivase tuno bante Gilana Pachayang imang anukampang upadaya patiyang hatumuttamang. The meaning of this in English is, O Venerable, kindly accept this juice, especially dedicated. Please take it, Great One, with your great compassion. The meaning of this gatha is that we are offering gilang pasa, or beverages, to the Buddha. The gatha is saying that the person giving the gilang pasa is hoping that the Buddha will accept it from them, as it was specially made for the Buddha. You have all probably seen this, as this is the small plate of drinks that we make when we do any type of Buddha puja, like Mihir Yaka showed us before. Some types of beverages that we can offer is pure juice of fruits or any herbal medicine like kottamali. The reason we offer gilang pasta during pujas is purely out of compassion, gratitude, and veneration for the Buddha. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ayesha. Yeah, and thank you for doing a. Oops, hold on 1 second. What happened to my PowerPoint? There it is. There's the Pali and English translation of the offering of juice.
Pinanda Hamdro, maybe would you like to say some of these Pali versions?
Thank you so much. You wonderfully explain. Also, our kids also explain. In addition to that, I would like to explain a little bit why we offer in these, especially any part of the temples in not only Theravada, Mahayana, Vajrayana, we mainly offer incense, then the flowers and lights. Why? Because in the Eight Noble Path, we call Arya Ashtanga Marga, expresses Sila, Samadhi, Panya. Sila means the virtue, Samadhi means meditation, Panya wisdom. This is the reason why these offerings show us to indicate, expresses symbolically why we are doing. For example, incense. When we offer incense smell very good thing. The Buddha himself say, Nati sila samogando. There are no any smell in this world better than virtue, sila. Sila is the highest smell in the world. To symbolize in, while we are offering incense, indirectly we pledge, when we say, you have a greatest virtue in these planets. I want to be like that virtuous one. That is the reason why I offer incense. Then our Mihiri explained very well, flower. When we offer flower, two ways we express while we are offering in the altar, making very beautiful, nicely organized flowers. Similarly, I want to my mind properly organized, not scatter going here and there and like a monkey mind. I want to proper organize wonderful mind. Then second thing is they are saying, like Mihiri mentioned, Pupam milayati yatai dhamme kayo tatayati vinas bhavan. Like this flower which I offer, fade away, pass away, die away. Similarly, happen to me also one day. In other words, no permanent entity, everything is subject to change. That is the called bhavana or meditation. To symbolize in saying, while I'm offering this flower, I want to, my mind perfectly clean and clear and organized, then I understand nature within subject to change. Finally, even though it is okay, right, actually in the Eight Noble Path also same way, we offer light. Why light offers? While we are staying in dark room, what happened? We cannot see anything. When I turn on the light, we can see everything because we have a light. Similarly, wisdom. This light symbolizes wisdom. We are saying, Venerable Sir, you have the highest, greatest wisdom in this planet. You achieve, as early our Dr. Niranjala mentioned, practicing 10 perfections and many ways earn this highest wisdom through meditation. So I want to achieve, I want to get that type of wisdom, like a light giver, dark places, we can get see things as it is. Similarly, I want to see things as it is. That is the reason why I offer light. Another thing, the Sila, Samadhi, Panya, these three way expresses we are offering incense, flowers, and light. Thank you. You and me opportunity to a little bit express.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pinanda Hamdurane, for explaining it very clearly and beautifully.
All right, so then we have the offering of food.
And even though we don't offer Ahara Puja during the Atavisi Buddha Puja, usually we do during a Dana time, but we thought of putting it so that way you know about the Gatha and its meaning.
And I believe Deodunu is going to be helping us understand the offering of food in Pali and English. Deodunu, do you mind?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hello, my name is Deodunu, and today I am going to be giving the Ahara Puja, which is the offering of food. The Gatha is Adiva Setu Nobante Bojanam Parikapitam Anukampang Padaya Patigan Hatumuttam. In English, this means, O Venerable, kindly accept this food, especially dedicated. Please take a great one with your great compassion. Thank you.
Thank you, Devdunu.
All right.
So again, for to summarize, Piyananda Hamduro summarized it really well. But the offerings remind us of certain teachings of Buddha, offering flowers. As Mary said, the freshness, fragrance, and beauty of flowers are impermanent. Fresh and beautiful flowers will soon become withered, scentless, and discolored. This reminds us of the Buddha's teaching that all things are impermanent. Offering of light. Light symbolizes wisdom. Light drives away darkness. Similarly, the light of wisdom dispels the darkness of ignorance, as Pinanda Hamdru said. Offering of incense. When incense is lit, its fragrance spreads. Incense symbolizes the fragrance of pure moral conduct. This reminds us to cultivate good conduct.
All right, so now we're going to move on to our discussion questions, which are about, again, we're not calling them New Year's resolutions, we're calling them goals, aspirations, and intentions. So you might ask yourself, in the middle of a pandemic, might it be what? Might it be pointless to make new goals for 2021? Well, if we remember 2020, we had very little control of our day-to-day activities, but we did have control over pandemic-related goals. So, for example, we could wear masks, we would wash our hands for 20 seconds. We used hand sanitizers, we created a smaller bubble, we only stayed within our home. We insisted on social distancing if we did go out, and only going out for essential work or essential shopping.
Essential medical appointments, yeah.
So some people have been postponing the New Year's resolutions or goals until the pandemic is over, and they have a bucket list for the post-pandemic world full of activities like traveling, having a wedding, going to school or university, going to the gym, going to work in person, meeting with their friends in person, going to eat in a restaurant, going to their temple or their church, etc. So all of these things that require being around lots of people for an extended period of time. But with the limitations and challenges brought on by the corona virus, maybe we don't need resolutions, but having attainable goals, inspirations, or aspirations with a positive mind could work better than creating, a list of resolutions of things we might not be able to do practically. So resolutions are kind of like making promises you can't keep, especially nowadays. So how do you make goals? So first off, make sure your goals are attainable. Focus on one goal at a time and start small. The smaller, the better. Then prioritize what you want to work on and focus on achieving those goals throughout the year. So, for example, one of my goals this year is to, I have many goals this year. One of my goals is to finish writing my dissertation, which is basically like a 200 to 300 page document. That's a lot. But instead of saying, I'm going to write this whole dissertation, I'm going to write 300 whole pages, I'm going to start small and say, maybe I can write 1 page a day, right? That's an attainable goal. I can write 1 page. You can start by writing down your goal, making a list of things that you can do that will help you achieve that goal, and noting any obstacles that might stand in your way. So, for example, something that might prevent me from writing my dissertation is if I have other responsibilities, right? Unnecessary responsibilities, right? If somebody wants to talk to me on the phone, I'll have to say, no, this is my writing time, and make sure that I set those boundaries so people know that, I'm going to be focused from this time, at this time, from this time to this time every day. And so by knowing exactly what you want to accomplish and the difficulties that you might face, you are going to be better prepared to stick to that. Again, we're not saying resolution, to that goal, and overcome anything that might sidetrack you. And again, make sure you get support from your friends, your families, your teachers, and others. And part of my support is being part of a writing group where we keep each other accountable, where, we meet and it's like, okay, well, by the next time we meet, I'll have 5 pages written, right? By next week, that sort of thing. So I'm getting that support from people.
We give you tea, and
yes, they make me tea. And then also be patient with yourself, especially now. It may take longer than you would like to achieve those goals. And also part of being patient is being flexible and change your goal if you need to. Maybe there is a day that I don't have time to write a whole page. Maybe I can write a half a page. Maybe there's a day that I'm, sick or I'm tired, and maybe I can't write 1 page, and that's fine. I'll just write a page and a half the next day. So you change your goal a little bit to make it fit your life and the fact that your life is always changing. All right. So for our discussion questions, our first one that I believe Setula will be answering is, what is something that you want to either stop doing, start doing, or keep doing? And what are some of your strengths that you can use to achieve this goal? And who can you ask for help with achieving this goal? Seto, would you mind?
Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Seto, and my topic is, what is something that you want to do, start doing, or keep doing? What are some strengths of your what are some of your strengths that you can use to achieve your goals? You can ask for help with achieving your goals for this year. Something that I want to keep doing is getting good grades in school. And another thing I want to keep doing is getting more merits. Some of my strengths that I use to achieve my goals are studying hard and improving my failures. I could ask my parents and teachers for helping me achieving my goals for this year since they are always behind me. Thank you for listening.
All right. Yes. You want to keep getting good grades, and that's good. That's good. And knowing that you can ask for support. You'll notice in all of these questions, I ask the question and then I have the same exact question. What are some of your strengths, and who can you ask for help? This is a great way for you to think about what you are good at and how you can use what you are good at in achieving your goals. And also, I think I mentioned last week that asking for help can be a really powerful thing. So knowing who you can go to for help in achieving your goals is important to understand that you don't have to achieve these goals alone. All right. So our next question is, what is a habit or skill that you want to improve? And again, what are your strengths that you can use, and who can you ask for help in achieving these goals? And I believe Siddharth will be answering that question.
All right, my name is Siddharth Vijaya, and my topic is, what is a habit or skill that you want to improve? Okay, one skill that I would like to improve is to increase the length of my work session. Before the pandemic, I could work after school. I could work for many hours in one sitting and finish all of my things at once, and then I'm free. But now during the pandemic, I'm a little bit sluggish. I tend to split up my work sessions, 30 minutes here, 30 minutes here. I'm a little bit lazy. So strength, I guess, or tactic that I do is I always write my things down on a piece of paper because I always forget everything. And I don't know, it's like whenever I finish, let's say, this math assignment and I erase it off of my paper, something in my brain tells me I want to do more assignments and finish it. That's like a strength that I consider, I guess. And whenever I finish something, I can push myself to do more and more. But the issue is, now during the pandemic, I'm a little bit lazy and I can't do everything in one shot now. A perfect example of would be my parents that would keep me in check. One issue I have is, whenever I take a break, 15 minutes, for example, it can lead to an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. Although I like to have fun, I tend to lose focus and not do my work. So my parents, what they do is they remind me, have you finished your homework? Are you updated with your grades? They're very strict about that. And that keeps me in check and not deviate and do other stuff. So overall, I just want to improve my productivity and be prepared for college and eventually in the workforce.
Okay, yeah. So a couple of things about that. Well, first off, again, remember, be flexible. You might not be able to do several hours of work at a time in one go because life is different now. And that's good. I think writing lists is a really great way. I love lists. I have lists all over the place. I find that very helpful. Something else, just a suggestion, not just for you, Siddharth, but for other students who are having issues with time management. You can set alarms. There's something called Magic Work Cycle that I use. It's magicworkcycle.com, and it's literally, you have work and play and you set a time. So for me, it could be I do I do 45 minutes of work and then 15 minutes of messing around on the internet, right? And then there's a timer and it goes off and it goes ding, regardless of what I'm doing. And then I know, okay, I get to take a break now. And that helps because I know that around the corner, there's always going to be a break. And that break is only going to be like a very short amount of time. It's not going to be like 5 hours long. And so I have that break, I mess around on the internet, and then it goes ding and I get back to work. So that can be really helpful, whether you have the website like I use, or you can have it set on your phone. Like I know phones have like timer and stopwatch apps and things like that now. That can be really useful. All right. Do you have anything to add? Oh, I don't know. You seemed like you wanted to say something.
No. I mean, I know that you're going to go into college, this year. So I think some of the skills that you're talking about, that could be, of course, you can do, great use for that. Yeah. But this year, people who are, all of you who are going to go to college, is going to be different. But, but be patient. You will have a real college experience, so be patient.
So our next question, no one actually answered, but I'm going to throw it out to you all. So who are 2 people that you want to connect with or spend more time with this year, and why? So it doesn't have to be 2 people. It can be 1 person. I can tell you, I already started doing it. I wanted to reconnect with a friend of mine who moved to Seattle. And I texted her and I was like, let's Zoom. And so we actually Zoomed this past Tuesday and we spoke for 3 hours. She's a dear friend of mine from high school. And we texted and we spoke online, but we hadn't actually seen each other in person in like 7 or 8 years. So it was really nice to catch up and reconnect in that way. And so we're going to do this monthly now. We decided that we're going to do things monthly, something that I can ask my friends for help with is when people say things like, I've told my friends, when you say like, oh, we should talk sometime, I tell them, actually, can we whip out our calendars and figure out an actual time to talk? Because otherwise I will never contact you. So telling people that, I need help and could we schedule something is something that has helped me. So does anybody have anybody that they want to connect with this year? I know it's been like a very isolating couple of months. And is there anyone that you want to connect with?
Yeah, some of you might want to connect with, grandparents in Sri Lanka, or like relatives, your cousins, or, these days,
your friends.
Yeah.
You might not have seen your friends for a long time. There's no one you want to see or talk to?
Because now you have all these video apps, WhatsApp, Messenger and Viber and
Sandhani, I saw you unmuted.
Yeah, I was just going to say I definitely haven't been able to talk to my friends as much as I used to. So we sometimes plan days where we can like Zoom and watch a movie together. You know how you can like party, and so we like to do that and definitely catch up with how we're all feeling with everything, whether that's good things or bad things. And it's kind of nice to like be able to not really be around them, but know about how they're doing.
Yeah, exactly. That's, that's so important to have that human connection. And I'm glad that you're doing that. You're having movie watching parties, even if it's virtual. So I encourage you all to kind of think about, again, these discussion questions are not just for individual people to answer, but for all of you to think about moving forward. So I'd like you all to think about, like one person that you might want to call or text or email or contact in some way that you haven't seen in a while, and just say, hi, how are you? I'm thinking of you. All right. So our next question, I believe Gagani will be answering it, and that's how can you help your family and or improve your relationship with your siblings or other relatives this year?
Hi, my name is Gagini Vidisekara, and my topic is about how we can help your family and improve your relationship with your siblings or other relatives this year. What are some of your strengths that you can use to achieve your goals? Who can you ask for help with achieving your goals for this year? My strengths to achieve my goals for this year is to be positive and think positive things because I believe that whenever you have your mind set to, will happen. At times when you are trying to reach a large goal, there are people that are going to say no to what you need and what you want and need. I have been told that you will too strong success people do not give up. You don't want to push too hard on people, and sometimes it's very hard next person who will say yes. So keep moving forwards on your goals. Always believe that today is going to be your day. My parents and my sisters will always help me accomplish no matter what. They are always there for me when I'm struggling with something, and this improves our relationship with them. Even though some goals might be hard to complete, they are not giving up. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Gagini. Yeah, that's great. It's good to know that you have a support system. All right, so our next question, I don't think we have anyone who answered it, but it was, how do you want to impact your community this year? So I'll answer it a little bit, and maybe somebody who hasn't gotten a chance to speak yet, Sajani, I see you, might want to step in and answer the question as well. So some way that I want to impact my community is by doing more of this. So doing more teaching Sunday school and talking to you all and teaching you all and hearing what you have to say. There are other ways that we can impact our community in little ways. So for example, you can, actually this is related to the previous, one of the previous questions about who you wanted to connect with. But if you know someone who's going through a difficult time, who may be sick, letting them know that you're there to help can be a way of impacting your community. It doesn't have to be a big thing. It can be in small ways as well. So
well, you can talk about your social welfare.
Oh, the social justice. Yeah. So in the past couple of months, I created an organization called Sri Lankan Americans for Social Justice, because there's been a lot of conversations over the past year and for a long time as well about race. And so I wanted a place for Sri Lankan Americans to be able to talk about that. And so we have a discussion group where we meet and we talk about these issues that are important to us. And hopefully I want to expand it more in the next year and have more discussions where people can, and webinars that people can attend. So that's another way I want to impact, but that's sort of a bigger way that I want to impact my community and more ambitious.
So anyone of you have any ideas of what you want to do to help the community? No? Okay, we can go to the next.
All right, we can move to the next question. So how can you take more or better care of yourself this year? And I think Tarushi will be answering that question.
Hi, my name is Tarushi Vidisekara, and my topic is about how can you take more better care of yourself this year. What are some of your strengths that you can use to achieve your goals, and who can you ask for help with achieving your goals for this year? Developing goals for recovery can be tricky, especially if you aren't sure what you want to accomplish. Consider your interests, things that bring you joy, and things that keep you motivated. Also think about the things you want, like where you want your life to go or what you would do more of if you could. Having a deep investment in the goals that you set will increase the chances of completing them. My goal to take care of myself for this year is to live healthy by eating healthy foods, getting enough sleep, exercising regularly, and managing stress. I want to also practice good hygiene. Good hygiene is important for social, medical, and psychological reasons in that it not only reduces the risk of illness, but it also improves the way others view you and how you view yourself. Another goal is to communicate with people once in a while and see my friends to build my sense of belongings. I'm going to try to do something I enjoy every day, such as music, because music releases my stress, and I know that music is going to help me throughout these hard times. And most importantly, finding ways to relax, like meditation. I could always depend on my sisters to help me achieving these goals because I know that they struggled with some of these things last year, and they want to accomplish it for the new year with me. Goal setting is essential to living a happy life with purpose and meaning. Goals give our lives direction and focus and help us stay motivated over the long term. Nearly everything in life revolves around goals, and they encompass all of our plans for the future, all of our hopes, dreams, and visions for what we want in life. Thank you.
Thank you, Tharushi. What kind of music do you like?
Relax. I like pop music, and I also play my guitar. So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you told lots of good tips about how to take care of ourselves this year. Yeah.
So those of you who play instruments, it's not just listening to music. You can also, play whatever instrument you know how to play, and that would be a good way to take care of yourself. All right. So our final question is, what do you want to learn more about this year? And I don't think anybody signed up for it. So if anyone didn't get a chance to speak or didn't sign up for a question, we'd love to hear from you. What would you like to learn more about this year? It could be anything.
So Onaya, Anub.
Let's see, who has I think Onaya hasn't spoken yet.
Anub, yeah.
Let's see.
Arnab. I want to speak.
Okay, yes.
So I learn more about the best paper plane in the world. And then I actually want to go to a paper plane contest. I didn't sign up yet, and I will. The winner actually gets to have a template of their plane. So I also I have some strengths as intelligence on how to make a good paper plane. And those strengths, I can make some styles to make newer, cooler versions of planes. And like maybe half normal dollars and half S&P. I could make a bigger paper plane, and I can ask my brother, my cousin, and my mom. My brother is my most best one, but he doesn't like the idea of that. So I usually ask, I don't have anyone to ask. Nobody except for me knows to make paper planes. So I don't know who I can ask help. Maybe my friends. So that's it.
That's great. Thank you. Yeah, I think making paper planes.
Wait a minute. Maybe I could ask my computer or Mary's tablet for help.
Yeah, I was just about to suggest that. I said, if you don't know other people who know how to make paper planes really well, you can always go online. And I know they have like YouTube tutorials for everything. They probably have YouTube tutorials for paper plane making. So yeah, that's a good thing to learn how to do. You could exercise your creativity, learn a new skill, develop your hand-eye coordination. I like that. That's a good thing that you to learn. All right. I think, does anybody else have anything that they want to say about any of these questions?
Yeah, I kind of have a little thing to add. It's kind of going back to what you were saying about don't be hard on yourself. And one thing I've kind of learned and am trying to learn to do is be my own best friend, where it's like when I make a mistake or when I do something that, or like that I said I was going to do, but I don't really do it well, I'll like tell myself like it's okay and I won't like my inner thoughts won't bully me if that makes sense. Like treat yourself as your own best friend. Like if your friend did that mistake, you're not going to yell at them and be like, "Oh, you're terrible," you know? Like you're going to be like, "Oh, it's okay. Maybe we could do this or this." And you know, just be your own best friend cuz that'll definitely help you cuz you know, it'll help you with like negative thoughts and being okay with mistakes.
Yes, Anthony, that's great. Being kind to yourself is so important. Something that I have to tell myself very similar is take your own advice, right? I give people advice and it's like, oh no, it's okay. You know, calm down. You'll be fine. And then in the same way, I'm like, oh, when I speak to myself, I'm my harshest critic, right? So I've been trying to develop a sense of what if, like you were saying, what if it was a student who was talking to you? It was, you know, a friend of yours who was talking to you about the same issue. What advice would you give them? And the advice that I always give is very much to be kind. My advice is kind to others, but also to be kind to yourself. So yes, so that's maybe how I can take better care of myself this year.
So if are there any other people?
I was just going to add on to Sadhani what she said. I totally agree with her because I write my like list of like homework or any assignments that I have to do, and I try to like do as much as I can in a day. And I always find myself being sad or disappointed if I don't do everything, and then I'll stay up until like 2 a.m. doing it. But this year, I have made it my goal to not like like get any sleep deprivation. So I try to sleep at a reasonable time now, and I try to like set my goals more reasonably. So like if it's like a big assignment, I'll only do 2 or 3 per day, so I don't burn myself out. So I started doing these things to help me, and it's working so far. So I hope I can continue that throughout this year.
Yeah, these are great skills for you to develop now, especially the younger folks, because you'll need these skills in college to be kind to yourself and to not overdo things, you know, and to do things in a healthy way. So there's a great way for you to start learning and developing these skills. So that's wonderful, Aisha. Yeah.
And if there's no one else, you know, Piananda Hamdrune, you wanted to say something? Oh, I think Sumangal Hamdru was there too. But
yeah, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate both Tilakratna's doctor and future doctor, both of them. Thank you so much. By the way, children, his birthday just passed. Everybody's have to say happy birthday to her. Then also next Sunday, 21st, Stephen Livingston, Dr. Steve, going to talk to you, and maybe he will send a letter. We will send to you for prepare. Topic, he says current situation something. Maybe write a speech. He will send to you next 24th in this Sunday. After that again, Dr. Ranjala and Mihiri continue the series.
Actually, Mihir is the one who will be continuing on 31st about the movie Take Refuge with I think Shalini and Ravi, right?
Yeah.
I'm not enrolled in that.
Sometime we can invite Sajini and Arushi to sing for us. Very good songs. That's was piece. See, they did couple of times Buddhist songs, and we can in between ask them to sing for us.
Okay.
Okay, thank you again. Now next class going to be parents class, going to have a now.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, everyone.
And thank you for listening, sharing your life experiences, and participating in the discussion. Thank you, Hamdroni, Piranda Hamdroni, Sumangal Hamdroni. Bye.